Good morning to everyone and I wish you Happy New Year. Let's start with chapter 12. The name of the chapter is The Moon and Shadow. We know that the moon is the natural satellite of our earth, the earth on which we live. It is nearest neighbor of the earth in the sky and it is about 400,000 kilometers away from the earth. How does the moon look? It looks like almost as big as sun. But in fact, it is very much smaller than the sun. Sun is very far away from here, near about 14.8 million kilometers away from the earth. The earth's gravity acts on the moon and the moon's gravity acts on the earth. The gravity of the earth acts on the moon and the gravity of the moon acts on the earth, and the earth is bigger in size. And in the last chapter 11, we have studied that the body which will have the body which is bigger will have more gravity. That's why the gravity of the earth is stronger than that of the moon. As a result, the motion of the moon is dominated by the earth. The moon's motion is dominated by the earth. Moon has no light of its own. This moon has no light of its own. Then from where does it give light? It reflects the light of the sun. The moon reflects the light of the sun. Further, we know that we receive the light from the moon, that is known as the moonlight. From where does it come? It comes from the sun. The moon reflects the light of the sun. Now let's study about the surface of the moon. How does the surface of the moon looks like? The surface of the moon. The surface of the moon is covered with mountains, valleys, old volcano turrets and many bowl-like holes called the craters. What is crater? If anyone asks you, what is craters? What will you say? Bowl-like hole on the surface of moon. Bowl-like hole on the moon's surface. Bowl-like hole on the moon's surface is known as crater. What it is known as? Craters. The moon has almost no atmosphere due to its weak gravity. Due to its weak gravity, moon is having no atmosphere, and without an atmosphere, there is no wind or water erosion. If there is no atmosphere, there will be no wind and there will be no water erosion. The moon's surface is about the same now as it was billion years ago. The astronauts' footprints remain unchanged on the moon's surface. Why does it remain unchanged? Because there is no atmosphere. That's why there is no wind or water erosion or soil erosion. The footprints should last at least 10 million years. How many years footprint will be lasting there? 10 million years. Now let's study about the phases of the moon. Phases of the moon. All of us have noticed about the phases of the moon from very first day to the 15th day. Means every day you can see that there is change in the shape and size of the moon. And that is known as the different phases of the moon. Now let's study about them in detail. The phase of the moon depends on its position in relation to the sun and earth. Means where the moon is placed compared to the sun and compared to the earth. The moon orbits the earth in 27 days, 17 hours and 43 minutes. This is the time taken by the moon to orbit around the earth. As the moon makes its way around the earth, we can see the brighter parts of the moon's surface at different angles. That is why what happens? We see the lighter part of the moon in different size every day. We see in the sky, no? Sometimes it is full, complete. Sometimes it is like this. Sometimes it is just half only. And in different phases we can see. Different size we can see. And this different size of the moon or different shape of the moon is called different phases of the moon. When the sun and the moons are on opposite sides of the earth, the moon appears as a whole disk, means complete. It will appear as complete. That is called the full moon. What it is called? Full moon. As the moon orbits the earth, the moon wanes, and the amount of illuminated moon surface reduces. What is meaning of it? Moon wanes means now the size of the moon is decreasing. Earlier it was complete, now it's decreasing. Illuminated surface means the lighted portion. Golden color we see, no? And that color now reduces until the moon effectively disappears as the new moon. And one night comes when we can't see any moon. And that phase is called the new moon. New moon means no moon. When the moon is between the earth and the sun, the illuminated half cannot be seen at all. Means the sun is one side, the earth is another side, and the portion which is lighting, no, giving the light, illuminating, that cannot be seen, and that night is called the new moon night or new moon. When the bright part is getting bigger, now what happens after the new moon? One night comes when we can see little bit. Now the moon is waxing. Waxing means the size of the moon is increasing day by day. Waning means see. This term waning. Wanes means sorry. Wanes means size becomes smaller, and waxing means now size is increasing. After new moon, the size is increasing. When the bright part is getting smaller, the moon is waning. When the moon is more than half lit, it is called a gibbous moon. What it is called? When it is more than half, it is called a gibbous moon. When the moon is less than half lit, it is called crescent moon. Which moon? Crescent moon. The different phases of the moon have different names. As the moon waxes, waxes means once again bright part is getting bigger. The moon moves through the new moon, then crescent moon. After crescent moon, first quarter moon. After first quarter moon, gibbous moon. After gibbous moon, full moon phases, means complete disk we can see. From here, the moon again wanes, means size reduces. To the completely means 27 days it will take, no? 27 days, 17 hours and 43 minutes. So, after now again it is waning. Waning means decreasing, size is decreasing. Through the gibbous moon. After gibbous moon, first quarter is now converted into third quarter moon, and after third quarter moon, crescent moon. After crescent moon, new moon phases. Half moon is often used to mean the first quarter and third quarter. Half moon means first quarter moon and third quarter moon. Clear? Phases of the moon is clear to you. Just remember these two terms, waxing. Waxing means what? Size is increasing. Waning. Waning means size is decreasing. Now we will study about the man on the moon. Man on the moon. Different astronauts go to the moon for studying different aspects of life there. Let's see about that. Man on the moon. Man on the moon. Man on the moon. The faces of the moon. Sorry, we have studied about the faces of the moon. Now we will study about the man on the moon. Since long, man has been trying to understand more and more about the heavenly bodies, and for that reason, they are doing research over there. The moon being the nearest, man has sent several rockets there. The efforts of the man were fruitful when Neil Armstrong, the commander of the American mission Apollo 11, landed on the moon on July 1969 for the first time. When does he arrive there? 20 July 1969. And what was the name of that man who first went there? Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. You have to remember this name because this is useful for your GK purpose also. Neil Armstrong. Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins were also with him. Who were they? Edwin Aldrin and Michael Collins. It was followed by several more trips to the satellite. As a result, we have learned many things about this satellite. The person that visited moon brought moon dust with them. It was examined by the scientist. The dust brought was different from the dust on the earth. Now we will study about the artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. What is meaning of artificial? We can see the things into two categories. First one natural and the second one artificial. Natural means which occurs naturally and artificial means man-made. Man-made. So this is man-made satellites. Artificial satellites are human-built objects orbiting the Earth and the other planet in the solar system. These get into orbit with the help of a rocket or a space shuttle. And for what purpose these artificial satellites are used? They are used for studying the Earth as well as other planets. Artificial satellites can have a range of missions that includes scientific research, weather observation, military support, navigation, earth imaging and communication. These are the aim for the sending these artificial satellites. Satellites can have people in them, like the International Space Station and the Space Shuttle. The first artificial satellite was the Soviet Sputnik 1 mission, and it was launched in 1957. When it was launched in 1957. Now we will study about how does the light travel, and we know that light always travels in straight line. Light travels in straight line. How does the light travel? Light travels in straight line. What is meaning of this? Means if we have lighted it, suppose I have lighted this light here. This travels in the straight line. One activity is given in your book. Let's study about that. Here we have to take 3 cardboards and cut them in equal size. Now place them one over the other and drill a hole in all the 3 cardboards. Now what we have to do? We have to place them in stands. Their hole must be in the same straight line. Now what we have to do? We have to place a lighted candle on one side of the cardboards. We can see that the rays of light travel to all sides. One or two of them passes through the hole of the cardboards also. Now what we have to do? We have to look through the hole of the last cardboard. We will not be able to see the light. Why? Because the light travels in the straight line. Sorry, we will be able to see the light because light travels in the straight line. The holes are in the same line. Now we have to move the cardboard in the middle. A little on one side and look as before. We can see no light. Why? Because light travels in the straight line and now the path is not there for to travel it, so we cannot see the light. So it is proved that light travels in the straight lines. We can check this fact in another way also. If we stand in the sun, we can see the sun on your face. We can see, no? We can feel it that the sunlight is coming on the face. Now if we place a book between our face and the sun, what will happen? We will not be feeling any sunlight on the face. The book has stood in the path of the sun rays, so it is dark behind it. Trees give us shade in the same way. Now we will study how does the objects cast shadow in the light, or we will study that objects cast shadows in light. Objects cast shadows in light. Objects cast shadows in light. Every object casts its shadows in light. Shadows are always formed behind the object, that is on the side opposite to the surface of light. Shadows are no longer if the source of light is far away. They are shorter when the source is nearer. That's why shadows are longer in the morning and in the evening. But at the noon they are shorter. Why in the noon they are shorter? Because the sun is near to earth. Now we will study about the umbra and penumbra. Umbra and penumbra. Umbra and penumbra. When an object stands in the way of light, its shadow is formed on the side opposite to the source of light. If we observe that shadow, what can we see? We can notice 2 regions in them. Its central region is absolutely dark, but its outer region is partially dark. The central dark region is called the umbra. What central dark region is called? That is called the umbra. And what about penumbra? What about penumbra? The outer less dark region is called the penumbra. The outer less dark region is called the penumbra. This is about the umbra and penumbra. Now, for today this much is enough. About the eclipses and other things we will study in the next class. So my dear students, revise up to here. We will meet in the next class. Thank you class.